Quite many years ago, when I was more or less a fresh raver, I had this vision about people from all over the world celebrating in a psychedelic gathering far north. Then I heard rumors about this other guy that had found this place.
Yes, so I have to take out the snooze in case my mom is gonna watch this. Back in 2011, I watched a documentary about a couple who lived on an abandoned airport. I was thinking, wow, this is like the most perfect spot for making a festival. But I saw many challenges. Because we didn't know anything, you know, like a normal couple, if you send 2,000 hippies into their home, I assume many people would be a bit, I don't know.
You arrive with the ferry, right? It's a small local community. It's one food store, it's one police guy.
The general feeling was that it's not possible. How are we gonna tell, you know, the mayor and the police, you know, yeah, we're just gonna have music for 5 days.
I think probably they like the idea about something new happening on their island.
Did you believe in it then? Did you believe that this was going to be a good...
It smells like fishy first, but when you are in where everything looks, smells like fish, so...
If you read the newspapers from the second edition, maybe they were maybe they were right. It's not possible.
Every festival has experienced their own individual problems, and from the perspective that drugs are illicit, our festival experienced a problem, but in reality, we never contacted an ambulance. I mean, it looked bigger in the media than it actually was. And I don't care about their personal chemistry, to be honest. As long as they behave and they take care of themselves so they don't become a problem for other people, I don't care about their internal personal chemistry. I don't think society should at all.
My definition or my relation to the whole culture, I guess it's some kind of active meditation, no?
It has roots to several different places on Earth and in time, and but one of them is from a Maasai culture or similar culture with endless drums, just going and going and going and going and going. And this can help the individual to transcend more into the collective. And that is one of the roots. Obviously, it also has roots in party culture, and in Goa.
Psychedelic trance originated at parties on the beaches of Goa in India. Music to dance to party to entrance.
So it's kind of a merge of a long party and a ritual that is deeper than just a party.
It's an extreme outburst of energy over a very short period of time, I'd say. A few people drags a heavy sound system far up into the woods, decorate some trees, and we played really loud music. So a lot of people just come to freak out for a night, if you can put it shortly. I think it's a kind of a necessary contrast to the quite tight and rigid society we have up here in the north, where we have to follow a framework to be able to work. And we need this kind of culture, or at least some of us do, to just let everything go and just be for a while.
We were clueless, we didn't have anything, how to make like, yes, we have friends who makes illegal parties in the woods out of Oslo, but we were clueless about, you need like a permission or... We just had the idea and we just tried. I wasn't thinking, well, is it possible, is it not possible? We just tried. We went up there with a photographer, a friend of mine.
You arrive with the ferry, right, onto the south side of the island, where 90% of the people is living. I think it's in total 600 or 700 people living, and 90% of them is living on the south side. And you have this mountain wall separating the south from the north.
The more you drive, it's like the crazier it gets. And then you come there and it's just, like this steep mountain, and you see this Moskin island.
At the moment, I'm having my eyes on towards the big wall. It's the largest gray background I've ever seen. It's so high definition. If you just look at it, you start to see all different kinds of stuff.
I'm not like a spiritual guy, to be honest, but with that I was like, wow, shit, there is some crazy things with this place.
Okay, pussies, we made it.
And he took, you know, some amazing shots.
Next clear memory I have is the day after this, meaning my third day ever on Værøy. We went to the municipality office and met Mr. Adolfsen, the mayor in town. We told him that we want to make a little cute electronic music festival in Nordlandshagen. And he granted it, just like this, with a written paper, and put the Værøy kommune stamp on it. Suddenly we had started a Facebook page. People really became enthusiastic like this. From 0 up to 10, 20, 30,000, like it went really, really fast. Okay, now we have put this out in the field to manifest. In the same way that the likes occurred, the right people occurred in a really rhythmic way. We didn't understood before we met Patrick that he was the missing link. When we connected with him, we understood fast, like, okay, he was needed to make this hold tight together when harder times is arriving, you know?
First I was thinking that, oh fuck, that far away. What would the locals think about it and how we're gonna get all the people out to this island? But after I saw all the sceneries and photographs from there, I was totally sold.
Men jag tar för kurvorna, fan du får en säkerhet. Ska vi dö eller höra på norska tutet? Finnet utav vilka vill. Ja. Så, nu vet alla att vi kommer. Ja.
One Henke or one Patrick is the same like 20, you know, normal persons, you know, like they can do stuff that in my case you would need maybe 30 or 40 Lars.
I think like the Norwegian guy he should keep the money, and the Swedish guy should organize it, and the Finnish guy should keep it alive.
And the circles grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and suddenly we had meetings with 50 people or something like this in Oslo University. And we were just kind of the glue between all these different people to manage to cooperate with each other, even without payments most of the times, and which is, yeah, it's art. How do you make that happen?
One of the first things that happened that we ordered from Cargonet. So we're shipping a container with just tons of shit. We got the container, we removed all the stuff out at the end of the airport. And that became our home for the next month. More and more people are just popping up.
Hi, jag heter Tormod. I kind of forced myself into it. I wasn't really like officially invited, I felt. And then the ball started rolling.
Take 45.
I was on a train with my backpack filled to the brim with a heavy duffel bag in one hand and a rolling suitcase in the other, just all packed with tools.
So what are you guys building here?
We're building a bar, the most awesomest bar there has ever been in this place. It's gonna be 2 stories, at least, and an ocean view with the mountains.
The culture has been come and do what you want, but you gotta bring everything. You're kind of self-serving for the bigger purpose, if that makes any sense.
We had an idea of what we wanted to do, and then just that idea just seemed to drag the right people into the places that they needed to be. The kind of law of attraction in action, this kind of situation.
I think it was Alexander who discovered this huge rock that he wanted to use as a DJ table. And when I saw the stone, I was like, are you serious?
For the first few days on the island, we drove around and looked for materials. Went into people's backyards, helped them out to remove their rubbish.
You realize that it's like everybody here has shit that they can't get rid of the island. They're just happy to give it to us and that we can build really nice things with it. From rocks in people's backyards to old fish drying racks to old fishing nets.
When you have 100 people going down to the beaches, going up to the mountains, finding, oh, this stone looks awesome, this piece of plastic, this piece of rope, and that's what we used.
Yes.
Nice. How heavy?
That's a big stone.
Yeah, how heavy do you suppose it is?
Can we really drive it?
Maybe up to that other stone there?
Yeah.
Да, îmi trebuie capete de șurubelițe, ca lumea. Da, hai să-ți arăt de care. Și îmi trebuie holșuruburi, îmi trebuie curent.
Can you strap the left side?
No, this is afterwards.
This one.
Oh, this one.
Where you want me to stretch?
There.
Left side.
On the other side to make oblique angle.
For me, it was a big difference between the two festivals, because the first festival I was kind of just a bystander, even though I had invested a couple of thousand kroners to get this huge Pakistani Bedouin circus tent up there. I was just a worker, you know. I'd just fill in and do kind of what was needed.
It's half We have beer and 3 different kinds of ciders. This costs 50 crowns. And non-alcoholic smoothies and stuff for 40 crowns.
So in the first festival, I ended up building a bar.
All my papers are wet, man.
With the guy who was going to be the bartender, which had no building experience, and a guy that had no building experience and actually no experience running a bar, but also was running the bar. So it turned out quite interesting in the end. But the bar was really nice.
Hur tänker ni kring det? Liksom, har ni diskuterat kring det innan? Har du varit med och byggt?
Nej, det här har byggt.
Ja. Nej, men det är så fint att det är så liksom...
Alla har sin del liksom. Som någon kompis från Slovakien eller något.
Ja.
Rumänien.
Ja.
Han bygger ju huvudscenen. Liksom.
Ja, precis. Vi pratade lite med dem igår.
I were amazed by all the workers. So many people just arriving and doing incredible things out of almost nothing. Wet, huge logs that had to be manually handled with almost no power tools, almost no power, because we didn't have power on site.
Jordborren är rolig dock. Den är skitkul. Man kommer in i det här jävla...
It is what happens when you bring people together that share a feeling. They don't know what it is, but they want to create something. They want to express something, and that brings out magic.
And every time we go out in a festival area, somebody's built something amazing or on top of something, climbing, being awake for God knows how long.
Vi ligger greit an. Vi venter bare på et nytt aggregat til den andre scenen, og så får vi på strøm der, så har vi 24 timer på å rigge den andre scenen. Så da blir det greit.
The days before the festival opening, there were some, like, you could call it big rocks. The sound guys wasn't really that amazingly happy with us, and it didn't really look like that we were to keep the schedule. We had like 100 artists coming to our festivals, but we didn't have, where were they supposed to sleep, you know? We didn't have enough places to sleep. We had like, these very shitty tents. These toilets was actually one of the things that freaked us most. Now people are coming, you know, like there's hundreds of people and there's no toilets.
13 skulle de være. Hva har de tenkt at vi skal gjøre med all bæsjen frem til da, liksom? Hva faen meg gir det til når de kommer her? Bæsjeners! Dette det vi har produsert de 3 dagene dere ikke har kommet med nattene.
I mean, we had no preconception of what it would mean to build a festival without power, without infrastructure, kind of on the tip of an island going into the North Sea with the North Pole next. So we were heavily overworked. We knew that we have to get this done, we have to pull it off.
Står du på kabel, eller? Står du på kabel? Nei, den var kommet på meg. Men det får ikke strøm på den.
24 hours before the festival starts, nothing is in place. Sound system is not up, the stage is not finished.
But there was chaos. There was havoc.
All the garbage is flying around.
It was a matter of seconds that decided that everything worked out.
It was nerve-wracking.
kult. Vi har bare det skulle være noe sånn der.
Du har en buss der, et isbil der.
Du har egentlig landet da. Jeg bare hørte at det var et eller annet greier. Det er masse folk som trenger plass. Hvis dere har en ekstra...
Vi har bare 3 seter, dessverre.
Ok, ja, kult. Men vi kjører fram og tilbake veldig fort.
4 biler.
And to realize that after you travel your whole day or maybe 24 hours, you arrive at this ferry and you have a big backpack. And I don't know what people expected, but the only thing that I met was a big map guiding them to walk the 8 kilometers. I think even pregnant women had to walk the first year, not the second maybe, but anyways.
Yay!
Looking forward to the festival?
Yeah, for sure, man. Half around the world, man. Just for this festival.
Yeah, Stefan, Evan.
He has his own mix. He brought a couple of those. Cheers.
The mulatto?
Huh?
The mulatto?
No, this is the Rauta.
You know, Christoph, a guy who helped us a lot, he's like, we made it. And I was looking around and out of nowhere, everything was functioning, you know, like the sound was super good, the stage looked amazing. Normally on Vara it's like 9 degrees, rain and shitty weather. And it just went 21 degrees. Straight, even in the night time it was 20 degrees. Just 7 days. No wind, so when you were on the mountaintop you could see in the water, you could see the water surface until Moskin, and there's no waves, no nothing.
Many festivals, international festivals where people travel from far away to come, almost everyone that came to Vara, you travel your whole day or maybe 24 hours to get there.
I mean, some people were coming from Australia, and some people were coming from Japan, and everybody's just traveled for so long to get to this island.
And here I think all this energy invested, like, wow, we really struggled to be here. It's transformed into this vibe. Because it was, yeah, explosive.
500 hippies looking around and it's like, wow!
All that effort, all those thousands of hours of work going into that project. And it was one of the most magical moments in my life. I'm almost actually starting to cry when I think about it, so... I love it.
I think it was the second day. I'm saying I'm thinking it was the second day because the sunlight is 24-hour. You don't know what is day and what is night. So when the festival started, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, it was kind of like, whoa, this new world. We've started this new universe. You kind of sink into the festival universe. And I think I just took a walk. Kind of micro world with all kinds of people and all kinds of emotions and all kinds of happenings, and it's so beautiful to see it start and end within a fathomable amount of time. Looking at the stages that had spun into life and the dance floor with people just being happy.
festivalen?
Ja, jag har nyss kommit hit. Ja,
Så hon ska få arbeta här, då blir det bra.
Bra.
Ja.
Då trivs jag. Ja. Jag tycker det är lite kallt, men det är klart jag är ju barbent också.
We have been at other festivals before, so we, all three of us, come now from Karlsö Festival. We were there 2 weeks ago. Back in Karlsö, we put up the kids camp, and then we asked to cooperate with Midnight Sun and asked if they had a kids camp, and they sort of have something going, and we asked if we could join, steer it up, and they said yes, so we did.
I think it's also very important for festivals to have a space for kids because it can get very big and very too much impressions for kids. It's good for them to have a space that is theirs, that they know, and that feels like their style and their. So this is also like very childish creation, like a little bit shaman style, a little bit Buddhist style, a little bit trance party style, and it's like all kinds of stuff. Alida! He's looking for mommy.
Henke, he ended up building the beach stage, which wasn't really planned from before. It just happened up there, and some guys came with a sound system, and a bunch of artists played, but we didn't book the artists, and we didn't book the sound. It just popped up a beach stage there. Actually, it was I almost preferred that stage because it was out there in the beach and it was so nice.
We didn't have a plan, we just said that, okay, you want to build a DJ table, let's build it together.
Yeah, the fact that we use a lot of material that is kind of in its raw form used locally for fish drying, for fish gills, or kind of like as a house down at the docks, it really blended in. It looked like it could have been standing there for hundreds of years, like was built by the ancient civilization, which was really, that was awesome.
The psytrance and the psychedelic culture is a lot about contrasts. You need to have several contrast points to get the whole, to see the whole. So I like all the stages a lot.
I experience myself in a different way. I experience the beat as a feeling, than opposed to just rhythm. You get to kind of feel the people you're dancing with and feel the vibe that is around you and the vibe set by the DJ. also a reflection of what I have inside me. I could be really what somebody would call angry music, but I can feel happiness and a lot of energy instead. As, yeah, like what happens in a trance.
The best thing I know is when I see people going into the trance and smiling on the dance floor.
Here we're making a culture, that's our particular choice. There's been about 30 years of psychedelic trance scene. Your mind can be manifested or brought forward through musical tastes and practices. For example, dancing liberates your body. So I work in front of a computer. I do software engineering, programming, I'm making music. So I sit in a stupid chair in front of a computer a lot. So when I come here, the first thing I do is freestyle yoga or whatever, you know, but really spastic, like very because I'm stuck in a chair and I'm kind of kinked. So you start off with some basic stuff, right? Okay, hips. This is dance music. You have a body. You have two legs, or maybe one of them something happened or you weren't born with both, that's fine. Two arms, but this is general patterns. So once you start moving, the first thing you're gonna notice is that it kind of feels bouncy and you want to do it more. And because the rhythm's so simple and, well, stupidly simple, it's like a spring. And so people do this for hours and hours and it's fun.
We were out on the beach, totally naked, and suddenly we hear this Apache military helicopter. I was like, fuck, what the fuck is happening? Coming, three of them, like super near. And now they're coming after us. But the only thing that they come for was the chocolate from Lofoten Chocolate Factory, and then they went off again. And everybody
Yeah, it was a bit of a bigger police operation.
All over the newspapers is like Midnight Sun Drug Festival, and I see my phone and they're calling me, you know, like all these like journalists. So I'm like turning off my phone and like, what's going on there, you know?
I mean, it looked bigger in the media than it actually was. It was a few guys coming 2-3 times per day during the Friday and the Saturday. All of those guys were really, really nice. It seemed like in the media it was really polarized, that we were like, you know, war or something. We never had like problematic meetings and we talked quite openly. But obviously if people choose to use these illicit drugs, then it is a problem, but yeah, it's many perspectives.
They felt tricked by us in many senses. The fact that we have built an illusion of what we were doing and then this was what actually happened. And they really focused a lot on that. But there was two sides of that story too. A lot of people, and I said most of the people I know from the island, they could see through that. They saw that it was a really nice gathering with people from all over the world. Not a single fight.
Jeg har møtt masse flotte folk, og det har vært folk alt fra Polen til Australia. Alle sammen utrolig fornøyd og høflig, og de så imøtekommende, så det kjempeflott. Veldig, veldig, veldig bra.
Det her min andre festival i mitt liv, og det her føler jeg liksom, det vekker til livet de samme vibrasjonene som for 40 år siden. Det ganske fantastisk. Du ser på andre siden av veien på musikken. Det lange køer i begge kassapparater, det lille julaften. Alle står på, alle happy.
Vi koser oss veldig.
Ja.
Og ser frem til de her siste dagene også.
Ja, ja. Ja, ja.
These drug stories, there's nothing we can do about. If a junkie takes drugs in a train, you know, you don't go to the director of NSB and blame him, you know. So the first edition, I'm pretty sure everyone who went there would say it was really nice and it was a success, but it was not a financial success. So we lost 500,000 kroner. And then our only option was to do it again, you know, to try to win it back, the money. So we did the same, you know, went all in. Same thing happened. We lost, you know, 1,000,000 kroner and yeah.
One of the best moments was when I climbed up into the mountains, several hundred meters above the festival, just listening to the mash of all the music, all the people, all the energy coming from the festival area, and look to this immense horizon. And you could see Lofoten on one side and just thousands of nautical miles the other way to the North Pole. It's a microcosmos where you build up and you spend so much energy into just 4 days of full blast where you have the start and you have the end all in one, like your entire life just compressed into 1 week of experience. You've gotten all the feelings and all the emotions are still there. It takes a long time to process.
Because you didn't sleep, you didn't eat, you didn't do, like just 1 month was total chaos.
It's a really hard feeling to, I guess all artists or whatnot you call it, can feel that vibe that you're creating something that's bigger than yourself for somebody else. And when you get like so much people doing that, everybody's creating for others. You can just unleash all of this energy and just enjoy everything. If so, only for a week, until we have to burn it all to the ground.
Oh no, my house is burning!
the festival was over, people left the island, and I hadn't checked my phone in a week. I didn't really know. Was it a success? Was like how did people feel? You know, I didn't know. And I remember one comment was, "Where is this?" And the next person to reply is Eden. And I was like, okay, nice. People had a good time.
We were really lucky the first year, and it was not only pure luck, because after a while we were like a group, we were the collective, it was not in individuals. The crew solved all the problems. They have their own little paradise, and that they granted us to join to manifest our vision in that environment, and which I'm till the end of my life will be grateful about.
I'd go to the circus again. For sure, I'd go to the circus again if I had more to say of what the circus meant, how we would arrange the show. Yeah, I'd do it all again. Now, in retrospect, it's taken a lot of years, but I think I'd do it again.
Brings me to the next question. Would you want to do this again?
Que se está gastando en piedras blancas y turbias corrientes, besa la sombra india que vuelve crecida de un sueño verde. Ya madura el silencio por el agreste vientre de tus bardas, quiere rayén dormirse, tiembla en sus entrañas enamorada.
So on the first edition of Midnight Sun we had the Red Cross. So it came a guy, his name is...
Sorry. Veggen. Lys. Ja. Det var vinter. Vi må kanskje ta gardina fra over. Det ser ikke bra ut. Nei, det ser ikke bra ut. Hvor lenge har det vært sånn aldri? Jeg tror det er veldig lenge. Ganske nylig. Ja. Sånn, ja. Perfekt. Ja, det er good. Nei, du må ta 2 lag. Ja, ok. Så 2 lag.
Litt tilbake. Sånn, ja. Kom. Sånn? Nei, det en sprekk. Du måtte litt der høyre, tror jeg. Nei, venstre.
Aguas que van, quieren volver. Aguas que van, quieren volver. Río arriba del